Well, hi everyone. Welcome along to today's webinar, where we'll be covering the new PDF editor slash annotator, as well as our recent document signing enhancements in the SuiteFiles web app. So for those who don't know me, my name is Roshni and I'm the Customer Success Manager here at SuiteFiles. Here's a lovely photo of me in pre-lockdown times. So just enjoying being in the office with Tinley and Thanjit from our development team. They make us do some photo shoots every once in a while. So unfortunately, I wasn't sick that day. But yeah, I'm customer success and look after the team who helps just make sure everyone knows how to use our existing and brand new features. So really excited to take you all through the PDF editing functionality, as well as a few changes that we've made to the document signing process. So what we'll cover off today is the PDF annotations and editing functionality. So I'll take you through how to draw and highlight on your documents, how to add text boxes, notes and shapes to your PDFs and SuiteFiles, as well as just a refresher really on some of the new signing updates that have made their way into the most recent update. So if you are on our Super Suite plan, all of this functionality is going to apply to you. You'll have the PDF editing functionality as well as the document signing functionality. If you are have popped along to today's webinar and you're on our semi-suite plan, you'll be able to do all of the PDF annotating. So the difference between Super Suite and semi-suite is it really comes down to the button name, which I'll show you shortly. So we're on Super Suite. While we're on Super Suite, we've got the edit button. If we're on semi-suite, we have the annotate button. And that's because on the Super Suite plan, we'll be rolling out a little bit more functionality when it comes to editing your PDF. So more on that later. But yeah, if you just are in a PDF and you see the edit or annotate button, you're on the right track. And then, of course, for those of you on semi-suite, you won't have the document signing functionality, but this will be a good little intro for you today because I'll go through the whole process end to end, just highlighting the changes for those who are already using it. Now, if you have any questions, please do add them to the Q&A section. And what I'll do is I'll have time at the end to answer any questions that you have that I haven't covered throughout the webinar. And I will send the recording out to everyone as well. So even if you've got colleagues who are registered but haven't been able to attend, they'll also receive a copy of the recording, but you're welcome to distribute that to the rest of your team if anyone wants to kind of join in on all of the editing and annotating and signing fun. Okay, so what I'll do now is I'll just switch across to demo mode. So just give me one moment. Oh, that was relatively easy, painless. So hopefully you can see SuiteFiles up in front of me here. And what I'm going to do today is show you the end-to-end process of editing or annotating a PDF and then sending it through the signing process. So we're just going to be starting off with this one Word document, something that I prepared earlier. And so what I'll do is I'll just click into that here. And so this is my preview of the file. So if you are used to seeing this screen, so some of you might bypass this screen and just go straight into editing the file in Microsoft Word. However, if you're on this preview, you will see that you have ways to turn this document into a PDF. This is on the Super Suite plan only, mind you. So if you're quite happy with the document, maybe you created the file from a template and it's ready to be put through the editing and signing process, you can just click the request signature button from here. There is also from the three dots here, you can convert to PDF. So a couple of ways to turn your Word documents into PDFs from within the SuiteFiles web app. If you don't usually see this particular screen, that will be because you open an Office. So what I'll do is I'll just jump into that file in Office. So for those of you that have your Word documents and you want to turn them into PDFs, then what you can also do, if you didn't know already, is if you've opened up the file like this, just jump into the file and then go save a copy, and then simply switch the document type from docx to .pdf from this drop down. Don't touch anything else. You are welcome to change the file name if you want to. I'm just going to call this PDF copy just so I can keep track of it. And then we can click the save button. So because we've opened up the file from SuiteFiles, it knows to save that PDF in the exact same location. So that's a little bit of a trick for you if you want to step through the signing process, which you need a PDF in order to do that. And this is how you can get that PDF saved into SuiteFiles nice and easily. So we'll save that. So that will be, oh, okay, that's not what I want you to do. So cancel that. So that's, hopefully you guys don't get that little pop-up. If you do, hopefully you can ignore it like I just tried to, but that will open up a new, it will open up the document. So it's opened up the PDF in a new tab in my browser. I'm just going to close that because that's just really a preview of that. If we go back into SuiteFiles and we navigate back a level to where all of our files are stored for this, in this particular case, you can see that PDF copy is stored in SuiteFiles here. So for those of you that are using the preview mode, and I'll just close this letter. If you are in this preview mode, in the very same way, we can click request signature, and then that too will turn that into a PDF for us. One thing to note, if you are doing the Word doc to PDF conversion, the Word document does need to be a .docx. None of these .docs, that's a really old file type. So if you need help with how to convert those older file types to new file types, do let me know. I can send you the steps, but these this process only works with those most recent file types. So once we're in a PDF in SuiteFiles, and it could also have been something that you've dragged and dropped into the web app from another location, no matter how you got it into SuiteFiles, if it is a PDF, then if you're on SuperSuite, you will see both of these buttons. So we've got the edit button that's going to allow me to edit or annotate the PDF. Very soon, we will have more functionality for you as part of that editing suite. And so this is the button that will be called Annotate in the semi-suite plan. If anyone has joined us and they're on the Simply Suite plan, so that's kind of the entry-level version of SuiteFiles, you won't unfortunately have either of these options, but happy to chat through that if you are interested in giving that a go. And then here, for those of you that have been using document signing already, you will likely have already noticed that we have combined the quick sign and the advanced sign option into multi-sign. So that's one of the first changes from a document signing perspective. But what I'll do first is I will go through the process of editing the file. So what we'll do is we'll click on the edit button, and that just switches into this editing editing toolbar here. So you'll know that you're in the right spot because you'll have this drawing tool, the note tool, so that's kind of like the sticky notes. You can draw text boxes and shapes. So those are the 4 features that I'll be going through in more detail. We'll just have a bit of a play and mark up this document. You will also see you've got some options at the top of your screen here. So closing the document will just simply close the file and you'll lose any changes. So maybe use the save and close, and that will recognize, if you've made any changes on the document. So if you are wanting to just make some changes to the file, so edit the file and just save the changes, then click save. If you are done making your changes, then just click Save and Close and you'll revert back to that previous screen. So what I'll do is we'll start off by looking at the drawing tool. So this gives you the option for the pen. You've got the freeform or text highlighter, and you can also erase some of those drawings that you've made. So we can start off with the drawing tool, and you can see along here, once you select one of the options, you will be able to do things like change the color and change the opacity of the, in this case, it's going to be a line that I draw on. You can change the weight or thickness of the line, things like that. So what I'll do is I'll just do a lovely little squiggle there for you. Good for circling things. But you've also got shapes if you want a little bit more professional precision. And then you can switch off into, say, the freeform highlight. So that again allows you to change the color. So I might go for a brighter yellow here. And you can also make it really, really chunky to capture more text or make it kind of thin. So you can do things like this. You can also circle things, shade it and highlighting it. You'll do a much better job of what I'm doing, but I'm just wanting to show you the various options. And the other option we have in terms of highlighting is the text highlighter. So that will give you way more control. And so you can actually select the text here. And again, a few different options in terms of the colors that you can use. So if you are done with the tool, then you can just click off it. So it's blue when it's active. Click it again or choose another option to remove that. The other option that you'll find from here is the eraser. So if you wanted to erase the drawing or the freeform highlight, you can do that. Again, you can make that eraser super chunky so you can capture more. But you can see as I bring it over the text highlight, it doesn't erase that. So the eraser does the drawings and the highlights, but the text highlights can be deleted. So in another way. So this also applies to drawings that you might make. If you want to delete something or remove it, then you can select the thing that you have annotated. So we'll just click on that and you can see there's a trash icon here. So just click on that and then click delete and that will remove it. We've got this little guy, which I can do the same too. So here you can see that you can click on the text highlight, again, trash, delete, or if you're like me and you like a little bit of a keyboard shortcut, you can select the annotation and then press delete on your keyboard, and then you can click delete from there as well. I find that a lot easier. So delete on your keyboard, delete, and it's gone. So we also have notes. So what I'll do is I'll just click on that option. Again, you can select the color of your note and you can click it on the document and then you can add in your note. So if you are preparing this document for signing, please note that these notes will appear as part of the document. So they'll be displayed. I'll write a little note here so that you can see what it looks like at the client's end, but it will be included. There's also a note type that you can use as part of the signing process. And that particular note, as I'll show you, is just to help if you wanted to give the person any pointers as they're signing the document. That particular note that you see through the signing process, that one will just be visible while the client signs it. But once the signing process is complete, that signing note will be gone. So a bit of a difference between the note that you apply during the PDF markup process versus the note that you apply during the signing process, but all will become clearer if you don't know what I'm talking about. So I use an example of, maybe if you're marking this up for internal purposes, so maybe you are going to mark this document up and then share it with a colleague, you might want to say something like, I'm pretty sure they have now have 4 staff. Please double check. So in this case, this data, the 2 staff that fed through from a field that I have in Xero Practice Manager. So, it might be worth checking the data in Xero Practice Manager and then either just making a one-off edit to this file and going back through the PDF creation process, or it might be fine. So we'll just add a little note and just click out of it. When you hover over the note, then you can still see it. Okay, so what I'll do next is click on the text option. So this will allow you to add text to the document. So just click the text box and then click on the document where you want to add the text. So click it once, click it on the document and then start typing. So maybe we've picked up that we've moved office and the template still has old details. So that would in this case mean that we need to go ahead and edit our business values that we use in templates and SuiteFiles. Again, if this is unfamiliar territory for you, please let me know via the Q&A section, because what I can do is provide you with some steps on how to make those changes. Okay, so what you can do here is you can select the text and then you've got the ability to make it smaller, make it stand out. And yeah, that will probably do. And then I think that's about it for the text boxes. And then you can see you can change the alignment. So both sort of the horizontal and vertical alignment of the text. You could even fill the text box as well. So if we click on that, and it's got no fill at the moment, but you can kind of highlight the text like so. We'll go back to no fill. And then this one is the opacity. So could be used for a watermark situation, but you cannot rotate these fields. So just a heads up there. And of course, you can change the font type. So there's a lot of sans serif fonts that you have the ability to change. Okay, so what I'll do next is just go through the shapes. So pretty straightforward here. Select the shape and then pop it on your document, and that just gives a nice clean outline. And this might be great to accompany a note just to kind of drill into the area of the document that you want to be focused on, perhaps if any changes needs to be made. So again, the outline is changed by this option. The fill, that does do a block color. So you might want to, if you really want to get colorful, if you do use some fill, then you might just want to make that a little bit more transparent. You can change the thickness of the outline, and you can also change the, I don't even know what you call this, but this is, you can make a dashed line or dotted line, etc. So that looks pretty interesting. And again, if you think it's terrible, if you wanted to leave it like I'm having instant regret, just you can again select and delete from the document. So once you have made your changes, just click save or save and close if you're ready to move on to the next step. This example here is for, for internal reasons. What I might do is just delete this here, just so that it makes more sense as we send it across to the client. But, if you were to share this document internally, so share it with one of your colleagues, because they're using SuiteFiles, they'll be able to go in here and view the annotations and make changes to them, add them, delete existing ones, kind of tidy it up before they send it off for signing. Okay, so we'll just leave this little note on here for the annotations. I might just highlight some things for good measure using the text highlighter, just so that you can see that these are all kind of kept on the document. And we have a new checkbox option as part of the document signing process. So what I will do when I go to add my client signing fields, I'll have an empty checkbox that I can put on this document, and that will tell me whether or not they want to sign up for our newsletter. So just things that you can do now that you couldn't do before, which is super exciting. Save and close. So that is changed, saved, and you can see down the bottom right, we're giving you a little message again saying, it's all saved. And so you can move on to the next step. Even if when you're in this preview mode, hover over the notes, you'll see the detail behind the scenes, and you can see that highlight is stuck there. So these annotations are going to be staying on the document as we send it through the signing process, which we will get into next. So for those unfamiliar with the signing process, as I mentioned before, any PDF that you have in SuiteFiles, no matter how you got it in there, that it will be available to send through the signing. So just open it up in this view. So again, back at this level, you are clicking on the PDF, and then you're going into the document signing option. So for today's session, we are going to be using the multi-sign option. This is the one that you use when you and somebody else needs to sign the document. So it can be you and multiple people. It could be you and one person, or you can just be out of the equation and just want someone else to sign it. So whenever you and others or just others are involved in the signing process, use multi-sign. Sign and save, for those who don't know, is for when you need to just sign a document internally and you want to do that digitally. This will digitally sign that document for you. So it goes through the same process, applies this digital signing stamp on it, tracks everything from an audit perspective. So that one's all good for if you just want to do it yourself. But we'll click on multi-sign. And so this is for those of you that were using the advanced sign option in the past. This is kind of basically the same screen. So for those that are not familiar with it and probably using the quick sign option, that it's really just giving you the option to, first of all, enable two-factor authentication. So this is also known as SMS verification. So SMS verification is when you want to add that extra layer of security around your documents. So when we send a file for signing through SuiteFiles, it's going to go into your client's inbox. So we use the email address as that kind of key identifier. And if, from there, they can click on the link to that file and access the document for signing. So to add that extra layer of security, you can switch on SMS verification. And what that will mean is once you've entered in all of their mobile details and sent this on its way, when the email arrives in your client's inbox, they will be prompted, when they click on the link, they'll be prompted to request the SMS verification code. So this is a 6-digit number that gets sent across to their mobile phone. They just pop that in, and then once they click through, they'll be able to access and view the document. So that's for those of you who want to use this. So when you do toggle it on, it will add these extra fields here, being the country code and the mobile phone number. If your client's details are stored in Xero Practice Manager, you will be able to look them up using this full name field. So I'm going to send this across to old Mitzi, and you can see here that this particular record is stored in Xero Practice Manager. So I'm going to select that. I've also entered in Mitzi's mobile number in Xero Practice Manager. So it's going to feed that through for me automatically, and it will strip out any of the kind of prefix information that it can identify. So, for New Zealand, our mobile numbers start with 027 or 021 or 022. So it's stripped out that initial 0. And what I need to do is I do need to select the country code. So that's just something that you do need to do before you move forward. But with this little combo, it will ensure that the text message or the SMS verification code is sent to this New Zealand mobile number. If you don't want to do SMS verification, you just toggle that off. I'm going to not demonstrate this process end to end today. This isn't really a new piece of functionality. So if anyone does have any questions on them, please do let me know and I'll be able to send you more details on that. And you can also obviously have a go with it yourself, maybe by sending it to a personal email address or something like that and popping in your mobile number. That should allow you to sign the document as a bit of a test and see and experience what your clients experience. At this point as well, I can add additional signers. So type in their name. If you don't want to pick someone up from Xero Practice Manager or Workflow Max, or you're not using either of those integrations, then you just keep typing. So go with Rose Smith, and then you just tab and enter their email address manually. Click remove if you want to, if you've decided that they don't actually need to sign the document, and you don't need to add your own details to this. So you, as the preparer of the document, will have an opportunity to add your signing fields at the next stage. So you're just wanting to add your client's details on this page here. We also have a CC recipient option here. So this is for people that need to get a copy of the final signed document, but don't actually need to sign the file themselves. So we're just going to pop in the trusty old support team here, and you can add multiple CC recipients by clicking on that button. So we'll click next, and this is where you can start marking up the document for signing. So, this was also an internal note, but well, we'll just go with it for today. So you can see that that does kind of overlay. It kind of squashes the text into over a few lines or so. So you might want to pop that note in a bit more of a white space if you can. Just a little hot tip there. We don't have any control at this stage on how this particular note gets surfaced, and this is the one that's going to stay on the document the whole way through. If we scroll down to here, you can see that the highlight's still on there. And just like before, if you're using the signing process, you can see that you're the default signer, first of all, and you've got any other people that need to sign the document from the drop down here. So in my case, I just want to put my signature here. So we'll click signature and select the place on the document where I want to put it. You can still, click the field and move it around. And you'll also note now you can resize your field. So that was one of the features that people were really, really keen on. So really stoked that we can make that part of the signing functionality now. And that's on, your fields and as well as the client's fields. So once you're done with the placement, you can just click off. And then if you want to add other fields for yourself, then you can start adding them. So in this particular case, I might just pop my initials here. And again, you can resize them. And if we go down here, I'm just going to add a text box. So I'm going to add a text box asking a question, and then I'm going to put a little field on the client's end for them to answer. So to edit the note, you just double click into that area to edit. Something like that. Just have a play with the formatting to kind of match your document, and click out once you're done. Once you're done with the edits, and then here we have the other type of note. So this is your signing note. So click on that, and we'll place it here, and we can click onto the note to edit it. So as I mentioned before, this is just going to show up for Mitzi as she signs the document, but it's not going to appear on the final signed document. Perfect. So click out of that. And what I'll do next is I'll just switch across to my client, and for her, I want to put her signature, name and date signed here, and I want to put a checkbox here for her to check, as well as a little text box, an empty text box, so that she can fill out her answer to this very, very important question. So one of the changes that has come across with the new updates is that you will find, if you're used to the older way of doing things, with this new functionality, it has changed in terms of you can't scroll as you go. So my recommendation is to, if you're at the top here, just scroll down to the place where you want to place the signature fields first, and then click on the field that you want to add. And then the alignment is still bottom left corner, so no change there. Just click, and then that will place the signature field for you. Here we want to put her initials, so we'll pop initials here, and that just come at the A is the symbol. So the A is not what Mitzi Mortensen's signature is initials are going to come through as. That's just the little symbol or icon to represent initials. So hopefully you don't get confused by that one. And we'll go full name here, and you can pick the fields up and rearrange them, and date signed is the final one. So as you can see, you've got the ability to resize, so you can make those just to fit to, if you've got a form, kind of a more restricted size that you have to conform to, then you can just manipulate these fields as you need. Then we'll go with the checkbox next. And so that is just literally an empty box. And then you just put that on the document, and she'll get the opportunity to tick that. One thing to note is that if you do place checkboxes on the document, this is probably not the best example, so don't, in terms of subscribing to a newsletter, if she, it's more appropriate right now for scenarios where they need to basically accept terms and conditions, or, you know, I acknowledge that blah, 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 I'm signing my life away and it is in your hands. It's more to be used in that scenario. So apologies for my poor example here. If they leave one of the checkboxes blank, then they won't be able to complete the signing process. So it's a super, super important, super important takeaway as far as that checkbox goes. So don't just pop checkboxes on willy-nilly. If they don't check them, they're not going to be able to complete the process. Text box, so we'll just leave a little empty text box for her to write her answer. It might be a long one, so we'll just lengthen that a little bit. And that's basically it. So what we'll do now is we will send that off for signing. You just click the Save and Send button, and no changes to this form here, so you can customize the text here. I know that probably half of you will definitely ask, can we customize the templates here? So this is something that we have absolutely on the wish list. So please know that we are completely aware that we want to add the ability to insert templates here. So just hold tight, and we'll make sure that we let you know as soon as that functionality is available. You can set the expiry date, and then some of you may not know what this actually means. So what this final option is asking is whether or not you want to send the final document. So once everyone's signed, everyone gets an email copy. Do you want to send this off as a secure link? So it's just a link to the document, or are you happy for it to be sent across as a final signed copy PDF attachment? So if you want the attachment option, you just click no, and then that will attach a copy of the signed file for everyone at that final stage. Okay, so we'll click save on that, and that will process everything and fire off the email notification to, in this case, Mitzi. And as she goes through the signing process, you'll be able to keep track of if she's viewed it, you'll get an email notification. You'll also be able to track this via the document signing management screen. I won't go into that management screen today, just because there haven't been any changes there. But if anyone does have any questions on that, then please do let me know. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump into her inbox, and we'll just wait for that email to come through. There it is. And so here, again, no changes to this. So we've got the email coming through. You can custom brand those emails. So by default, they'll come through with SuiteFiles branding. If you want to be able to customize them yourself, you can do that via the document signing management screen if you're an admin. So she will just click review document, and this will open up the signing interface again that can be custom branded, and she needs to click accept and continue before she can move through the signing process. So she can click the scroll to next button, and that will point her to where she needs to sign. This is a pretty small document, so it's just a case of her going through and popping her initials. So you just click on the field that you need to, and then that will bring up her initials based on her first name, last name. Here, she just clicks the signature. That generates a script font for her. She can also customize her signature if she wants to, which I'll go through shortly. She can change her name if she needs to as she signs the document, and date signed is just going to autofill in this format. Here we have the checkbox, so she can check that. So we'll do this field here. And you can see that note will appear for her during the signing process. So I've left that checkbox blank just so that you can see she can't finish the process until she's checked that box. So once all of the fields are completed, we have this little message, and she can then click finish, and then that will process the document, and it's now signed. So let me know if you have any questions on that. We can certainly wait for that signing notification to come through. But yeah, let me know if you've got any questions. All right, some beautiful questions coming on through. I'll do my absolute best to answer them. I might not have all the answers, but I can certainly revert back to the product team and come back to you guys via email separately. So we'll start off with probably one of the most popular questions, which is where's the rotate option? The PDF's gone. So yes, we have certainly heard some feedback around the rotate functionality. And so what we are going to be doing is bringing that out. So as I mentioned before, for the Super Suite plan, we've got the editing functionality. And so the first phase of that was the annotations. Apologies that we kind of missed the rotating option as being super critical. So what we've done, and we've already done it, and it's in beta testing at the moment, is that we have brought the annotation, that annotation or that feature back. So that will be making its way to you very, very soon. So yes, we will certainly let you know via our newsletter, and I'll double check with the team whether or not that's going to pop up as a notification in the app when it's released. But yeah, if it's not, then I'll certainly personally contact you to let you know when it's back. So the rotate functionality is making its way back for both semi-suite and super suite people. And then another question has been, can you set defaults for the drawing and note colors, font types and size, etc.? So that's a really good one. So I'm not sure if that's something that we can do. What I'll do once I send, I'll pass the feedback on to our product team. But yeah, in terms of things that we can't answer, which I can't answer on the spot. What I'll do is I'll certainly feed that back into the devs, and we can come back to you. But I'll also send you all our link to our feature request form, because that goes straight to our product owner, and it's a really good way to get your feedback heard. So please do I also highly encourage you to do that. And that can be for anything. It doesn't have to just be on signing or annotating. It can just be anything. We're super keen to hear your feedback on anything. So I'll include that link when I send you all the recording. Donald's asked, is there a way to hide data such as TFN, IRD numbers and things like that? So we don't have a redaction option at the moment. It is something that we are exploring, and that would be something that would only be available on the Super Suite plan should we bring that through. So what I'll do is I'll note that down, and we can let you know kind of if that's going to be possible. So one thing that I should note is that although you can, you can use that shape option to basically block out text, it is not a redaction tool. So it's not officially a redaction tool. So please don't use that particular feature for that purpose, but we'll certainly take your feedback on board and come back to you on whether redaction is possible in a future update. And Donald's also asked around training sessions or where you'll find the recording. So I'm going to email everyone the recording of this, so you'll have that. We've also got a range of content available on our help center. So for those of you who don't know, if you go into SuiteFiles in the web and click on your name in the top right corner, click on help center, then we do have a lot of training material. So in terms of our webinars, you can just type in webinars, and so we've got a range of tips and tricks and working with file templates, and I actually did a more recent webinar on this, so I might need to just archive this guy. So yeah, we've got a bunch of content on our site. If you are wanting to see the full list, I believe it's under the Getting Started section. So you can see we've got the on-demand training, and if you see more here, I'll flick you the list to all our webinars. There's probably a bunch on our website as well that I can link you to. But if you are on Super Suite as well, then you can also get some free training. So if you are in need of a little bit of a refresher and you want a little bit of one-on-one time with me or Arisha from our customer success team, then please do reach out to support@suitefiles.com, and we'd be more than happy to arrange that for you. Okay, so Kim's asked for the me signature field. Are we able to have the other signatures stored, such as director, i.e. not the name of the SuiteFiles login user? So in terms of, I guess, one, we haven't really changed any of the functionality around that. It's always been should always be the person signing the document or preparing the document is the one signing it. So we're displaying the name of the person, I guess, legally signing the document. So not sure if you were able to previously, do that, but we don't have plans to kind of remove this display name or allow alterations to it at this stage. So, because if you do change it, then it's not actually a legally bound document if it's signed by someone else. So what we've done kind of, I guess, to avoid any security breaches and to ensure it's a legal document, you'll just need to ask the partner to sign the documents from their account. This could be another great one to feed through to our product team, which I'll do, but I'll also get you to put that through our feature request form just so that that gets picked up by the product team directly. Can you set up some of these fields in templates, e.g. checkboxes? You cannot, but I've heard whispers of it as a feature request before, so I'm sure it's already on the backlog, but I don't believe it's scheduled at this stage. So we have a whole long list of things that we want to be doing. The next thing that we will be doing for super sweet is we will be bringing out that editing functionality, so more editing functionality. So that's going to be merging and the rotating of the pages, rearranging pages, deleting pages. So that's coming out really soon. It's just currently undergoing beta testing in our beta community. So yeah, watch this space. It will be out hopefully in the next couple of weeks. Okay. Sorry, bear with me. I'm kind of reading these as I go. So does the document show us digital stamp confirming the time and date of signing? Yes. So apologies, I didn't go through that just because that particular functionality hasn't changed. But if we go into the signed copy, I'm just going into it from the client's end. If you scroll down to the bottom left of the document, your digital signing stamp is here. And so that pulls through the date it was digitally signed. So you can see that here. And you can also, if you are in SuiteFiles, go to the More drop-down and Document Signing. And this list will show you in date order what has been signed or date created order. So here we have the completed document here. And you can go into the history of the document by clicking on the 3 dots, view history, then click the history tab, and you can see the full audit of what has happened and when for that file. Client could sign on phone, but not computer. Okay, so someone's from a end user perspective. So it could possibly, yeah, as you've suggested, been due to the browser type on the computer. So we do recommend the Chrome browser when using SuiteFiles, and that includes document signing. So if you have heard, get feedback from one of your signers that they haven't been able to sign the file, then can you ask them to try the Chrome browser as a first step? If not, can you just let us know via support@suitefiles.com, and we'll certainly be able to look into that for you. So please just keep us in the loop on that one. But the Chrome browser they shouldn't have any issues whatsoever, and no doubt we will be able to explore the compatibility in other browsers. But for everything SuiteFiles, we recommend Chrome. Cool. When someone's asked for a little bit of an enhancement request, so when in an open PDF document, scroll to next document. So I'll probably get you to pop that in the request list and maybe give a little bit more detail. And Raymond saying the digital signing stamp doesn't show for multiple signatories. So what you'll find when multiple people sign, the digital signing stamp contains the information for the last signee, and then we have this signing audit here to keep track of all of the history of that file. So again, one of the feature requests that we do here from time to time is to have a printed audit trail or something to be appended to the document. So again, while it's already on the backlog, if it's kind of like a voting system, right? So if more people want a particular thing, then we're going to most likely, if it's something we want to and can technically do, then we will be bumping it up to the list, So that's kind of why I'm saying pop your feedback through the form, because that's the process at the moment for requesting features. So definitely I'll flick that through to everyone. There are a bunch of questions here, guys. So if you do need to go, then feel free to dip out, and I can certainly include a list of Q&A answers in the email that might save you guys all time. So you just got one reference point for them. But if you're keen to stick along, then I'll just be trucking through them and answering whatever I can. So if you need to dip out, I won't be offended. And thanks so much for attending. Okay, so can you insert an image or stamp to a document to sign it? So no, you can't. So yeah, it kind of goes along with that, the whole thing with using an image, inserting an image as a signature. That's not legally binding. So we can't really have a mixture of both image signatures plus digital signatures. There's just a bit of a conflict there. So we don't have the ability to insert images at this stage, but we'll certainly let you know if that does change. Michelle's asked if there is a way to align the signing boxes like we could do the old way so they could line up perfectly. Yeah, so that feature unfortunately isn't available in this new version of signing, but I'll certainly pass that feedback on to the team to see if we can bring that back in a future update. Oh, someone's actually answering my taco question, which I absolutely love. That's fantastic. So Lauren's more of a beef taco kind of person. No judgment whatsoever. I can interchange chicken and beef quite easily. Can you use the signing function with SuiteFiles shared folders? Very good question. So one of the things with SuiteFiles Connect, so you don't have to, well, you can use it, but in any case, if you're using signing, the client is going to receive an email. But if they're also in Connect, which I'll just log into now. So for those of you who don't know, Connect is our client portal. So Mitzi is a client, a client of mine. She's set her up with a portal, and you'll also see in her tasks, any incomplete signing requests will show up in her tasks. So she'll be able to review and sign that document from here. And the beautiful thing about Connect is that any signed file that she has signed through signing, okay, that's a lot of signing words, but anything that she signed with you through SuiteFiles, she'll be able to see that in this list. So this is great, particularly for any of your clients who are constantly asking you for copies of things that they might have signed 6 months ago. You can certainly, if you've got them set up with Connect, you can point them to this area. One thing that I will say around the Connect functionality is that the signing functionality will only, the access to the assigned documents will only work have you connected with them. So have you sent them a connected folder to upload documents to? If that's the case, they'll have created a Connect account, and then they can therefore see their signed files. So you can't just log in or set up a signing a Connect account just to access signed documents, if that makes sense. So they're linked, but they're kind of separate. And just to clarify, you don't need to be using Connect in order to send out documents through SuiteFiles signing. Okay. So Mark's asked just a lot of questions about that checkbox. So yes, I apologize. I did use a really silly example in that case, just because I knew as Mitzi I was going to check the checkbox. But as mentioned earlier, if you to use the checkbox on a document, you need to use it for a scenario where they have to check the checkbox. So I'll certainly ask the team if we can get a bit more flexibility on checkboxes going forward to make that not a requirement. But for now, just use it in scenarios where you need them to actually, it's a mandatory field, basically, is what I'm trying to say there. Cool. Is it possible to create a folder for more than one doc for signing? So I guess that's in the case that we're thinking about document packs. So sit tight. If you're on our Super Suite plan, Donna, then wait for us to release the merging function and see how you find that. So that's going to be a replacement for our document packs beta functionality. We're going to give you the ability through the PDF editor to add documents. So basically combine documents together. So give that a go. We don't have the ability to send a folder to clients for signing, but I'm not sure if that's technically possible either. But yeah, we don't have any plans to do that at this stage. Oh yeah, Marina's keen on that feature too. So again, ladies, I will certainly ask you to pop that through the feature request form. Is there a limit to the number of docs sent or created, or any additional pricing involved? So no. So if you are on the Super Suite plan, then that's just unlimited. So we don't put any caps or anything, or there's no kind of additional cost for more documents that you sign. So that's how it works at the moment. So go hard. On the email that gets sent to the client, it's got the contact. Okay, so let's go jump into that email. Okay, so we're talking about this email address here. Can this be customized? It cannot at the moment, but I have seen that on the wish list. So we'll probably do some work on these emails in future. And so hopefully that will get captured in that. So for those of you who are using your notification settings, that particular notification, so file preferences, notifications, this particular custom email address is not impacted by document signing, unfortunately. So it's going to be something that we will work on in future to give you a little bit of flexibility over who they should be contacting. So at the moment, the contact email address is the person who prepared and sent the document out for signing. Okay, cool. So we're getting to the end. So only a few more questions. Is there an option coming for the client to download the document and review and accept it before going to signing? Some people are saying it's hard to view properly in the signing process. Oh, that's really interesting feedback, Fiona. So, and if they're having trouble viewing it in the browser, okay, so it really just involves downloading the document. Okay, cool. I'll pass that on to the team. And so that's a cool idea. Cool. So there was a document that required, hang on, you can add the director's signature to the document at the PDF stage as an image. I'm not quite sure I follow that. Kim, I might follow up with you on that one separately. And if there was a document that required multiple signatures, but all needs to be on the one doc, do we have to send to one person and send once again, once they have signed to the next person? I'm not sure I follow that one either. So if it's just one document that you need signed by multiple people, hopefully I follow. So sorry, excuse me. Let me see if there is a good document. So we go multi-sign, we add that person, and then we click add signer and add that person, and we just keep on going through, and then all of these people will be available from the signing drop down, and you can just click through and add those people. So hopefully that helps answer the question. Kim's asked for the 2FA SMS. Is there an additional charge? So I'm not sure if any telcos kind of say that there'll be an additional charge as they receive a text message. I certainly haven't seen that in my experience. I don't know if that's the same where you're at, but yeah, there's no charge from a subscription perspective if that's also what you might be asking. So available only through the Super Suite plan, and it's all included as part of your subscription, but I can't vouch for if people charge for allowing you to receive an SMS code. I don't believe so. Awesome. And someone's asked, do we send reminder emails for the signatures? So we used to have this functionality. Unfortunately, we had to strip that back, but it is on the list. So what we'll do is, come in here, and if you have something that's in progress and they need a bit of a reminder, then click the 3 dots. So this is accessed by the More Document Signing drop-down. Access the 3 dots and then go resend invite emails, and it will just kind of trigger off that initial email again. So not a reminder per se. We're going to be doing a whole lot of work on like reminders and notifications and all that fun stuff. So it'll certainly get picked up in that work and all that work. Okay, so Jesse's just elaborated on their question. So it was around, if adding multiple signatories, will the final version have all the signatures, i.e. not a returned version as each person signed? Oh yeah, the final copy will absolutely have everyone's all in the one document. So yeah, that will certainly happen. Let me see if I've got an example where I've actually sent it to more than one person. Apologies, I will, yeah, I don't have an example for you right now, but just do know that everyone's signed document comes back as just the one. You just get an email notification every time someone's viewed or signed. So I've been swapping between the chat and the Q&A. I'm sorry if I didn't get a chance to get to your question, but thank you guys so much for attending. And what I'll do is I'll wrap everything up in a nice tidy email for you, and I'll include that feature request form in there so that you can ask the team nicely for all of the wonderful features that you guys would like. And yeah, hopefully I'll be doing more of these webinars and we'll be rolling out more features. So keep an eye out for the editing functionality coming out in the next week or so. And I'll probably do another webinar then, to be honest. So I'll probably see you all then again. Thanks so much for your time, guys, and enjoy the rest of your day.